the revs will rise. Turn the volume up and enjoy. The sprint race is underway. Perfect launch off the line for Oscar Piastri. That's the first bit done. Max Verstappen will angle the car. He tries to get the wide line and then he will try and boot the throttle as we are about to dip down the hill. Lando Norris is in a great position. Do you want to be too close at this part of the circuit? That is a perfect gap for Max Verstappen to be gaining all the time up against Oscar Piastri as we fly through onto the Kemmel Straight. There's no change at the moment, but look, I told you about this slipstream and it's closing. It's closing. Piastri is looking in the left mirror because Max Verstappen is about to roll through late on the brakes. Mega move, mega start, race lead for Max.
You absolutely nailed it through there. The gap was perfect for him, and Charles Leclerc has passed Lando Norris as well, so both McLarens have slid back. But Verstappen had a bit of a wheel spin coming out of La Source. It cost him a bit of drive, left Norris really close to it, but you can't use it when you're that close.
Norris was too close to Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc got through. Norris drops down to fourth position. Max Verstappen leads the sprint race in Belgium. They're fighting. That's George Russell trying to get past Yuki Tsunoda, lap 1 of 15.
Well, look how close Norris is, but he doesn't make any more inroads on Verstappen. It's Verstappen who charges up behind Piastri, and Leclerc's about to do something pretty tasty on the brakes there around the outside as well.
We roar through Eau Rouge, we climb the hill to Radion Corner, and we see Max Verstappen looking out of the front of the car. He is confident in the straight line speed of the Red Bull. They go past a huge crowd just to check where Piastri is. What about Lando Norris in the background? Lando Norris alongside, and when he stands on the brakes, he'll go through and reclaim third position.
What we're going to see here, the two race leaders nose to tail at Stavolo as this Piastri trying to get closer at the other part of the circuit. There will be a conventional overtaking place. It's on the end of that.
Yeah, you can tell he's pushing. Can Piastri find a way by here with his rival for the championship closing in? You see Piastri getting more and more animated at this part of the circuit, but it is going to turn into a three-car battle for the win. It's the usual suspects out front, the world champion leading the two drivers desperate to replace him by the time we get to Abu Dhabi and the 24th Grand Prix of the year. Max Verstappen a bit wide into the chicane.
Yeah, he was just actually booting the gap towards 1 second there as well, but
that's the closest it's been all race at this part of the circuit. This is game on for the lead now.
Got to be a clean exit from Verstappen. This is Piastri's closest moment through La Source. They jump on the gas, he's nicely positioned, and he's a bit closer. The slipstream will have a bigger effect already. Then they'll stay pinned down and up through Eau Rouge, and Piastri may well have his moment.
Here we go then. It was a wide moment at the chicane that could have a change of lead, and Verstappen for the first time has to deviate from his racing line. Piastri will go to the outside, no way through, and that was the most pressure Verstappen's been on since lap 1, but in the end it was not as close as we might have expected.
I can't brake.
Understood. If you ever get the chance to come to Spa-Francorchamps, you have to take the opportunity, because there are so many amazing places to see these magnificent drivers and this prototype technology being used to the fullest. Last chance for Oscar Piastri. He's still within that half a second window. The closest he got at one point is when Max Verstappen made a mistake at the chicane. It left him vulnerable. It was the only time in this sprint race so far that he had to deviate from that racing line. Piastri has saved up the battery, but not enough. He gets the gap down to 0.3 of a second, and that was the last opportunity that wouldn't carry a risk. And if you know the driver behind the wheel, the Australian is going to bank the points. All the talk at the start of this one was of Red Bull and the changes they've made. Well, here's one thing that isn't different. Max Verstappen at the front, getting to the final chicane in the lead. And he took the lead at the start. He has stayed in P1. He knows this feeling in Belgium. Red Bull's new era begins with a win. Max Verstappen wins the sprint in Belgium. He beats the two McLarens. And once again, he has mastered Spa. After 15 laps, they were separated by 1.4 seconds. But that epic move at the start means P1 at the finish. It's Max Verstappen again in a sprint. He is by far the most successful driver in sprint history. That's now 12 wins, and no one else has any more than 2.
Nice job. Well managed.
No, nice. Very well done. Good job with the gaps and the battery. It's really nice. Well done, guys.
Well done, Max. Very, very impressive defense. Very, very well controlled.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. That was a good start. I enjoyed that.
Well done, Oscar. P2. It's not quite enough straight line speed, I think, to get Verstappen. Yeah, I just didn't have enough double checks. But
Grand Prix victory in Japan earlier in the year, as well as Imola, and in front of so many of his supporters. Another moment to celebrate.